Yeah, the OBS just decided to disconnect from the serious streaming server. So this is, if you will see this as a video, this is the second part of our feedback session from the 7th of October, I guess. The previous part should be right in front of this, like the previous video. We were at this step. We wanted to give feedback to this sculpt. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So, okay. Let's go back to where we were. We wanted to talk about what we can do here to improve this sculpt. Okay. So first of all, the first thing that I see here that you can improve is the mouth. The mouth overall, especially looking at the hold on. Where is it? We have a good image for that in the... This one's pretty good. Right here. You can see how much depth there is for the lips. You can see the lips point forward here, right here. They point forward, but then they sort of go back and wrap to the inside of the mouth. They go sort of horizontal right here. If you look at this plane, it points forward first, then it wraps into the middle sort of, and then goes into the inside of the mouth. It gets then, you can see this crease, it then gets covered by a fat pad right here, which creates this depth right here. If we look at the other images that we see from this sort of character, this one for example, can we see this as the original? Nope. Hold on. Can I see the original, please? We can't. But there was another image here, I think. Hold on. This one, maybe? You can see how much depth there is in the lips. So one thing you can do to improve the lips would be to, first of all, maybe end them over here. Then you can add a little, just a little bit of fat right here. You can maybe push the corner of the mouth a little bit to the inside of the face, or the skull, I guess you could say. Move it in a little bit so that there's more depth for the lips. And then I think that can help quite a lot already. One more thing you can include in the character is this fat pad right here. I like to talk about fat pads a lot, so yeah, this fat, because they're so important, you know. This fat pad right here starts at the nose bridge and then goes down here to roughly here the jaw, and then it goes up again and meets at the corner of the mouth, and then it goes to the nostril basically. Right there you can see. So if you would draw that into your face, you can maybe add a little bit of volume, a little bit of, you know, a little bit more volume here. Right here. Oh. Right here. Come on. There you go. Just a little bit more volume to kind of fill this spot here a little bit with a little bit more. Yeah. Just fill this a little bit. You know? You can see right here this curve kind of goes inwards right now. By adding this fat pad here, it will look something more like this. Rather than this, it would look something more like this. Okay, you can do the same here so that you then change it from this sort of curve right here to something more like this. Okay, that's one thing you can do. Adding this right here. Another thing for the eyebrows, generally speaking, the eyebrows oftentimes, it doesn't have to be always, it's not always the case, but oftentimes the eyebrows are kind of sharp here at the end. They end more like this. Same here on this side. So that we get this shape right here. That it's more like, here's a plane, and then the other plane goes in this direction. So yeah, it might be kind of hard to explain, but how can I explain this? One thing you can maybe do is just kind of push this corner here, these two corners, just slightly further out in this direction. Right here, in this direction, okay? Forward, basically, like to us, but also, yeah, basically to us. Just kind of move them, bring them out a little bit. Yeah. I think also one thing you can do is you can kind of reduce the distance from the bottom of the nose to the top of the lip. I think it's quite long right now, or quite big. You could either maybe move the nose slightly lower, or I think what would fit better is you move maybe everything that is part of this, the jaw basically, move the entire jaw just a little bit higher. This way you can decrease the distance that you have between the nose and the lips basically. I think that can help a lot already. Yeah. I don't know if we can really Photoshop that well, but we can maybe try, okay? So if we go in here, we don't need this anymore. Nope. If you put that in here. So we could either move the nose a little bit lower. Hold on. Like this. Move it just slightly lower. And we can then move the lips a little bit higher. Which means we also need to move the jaw overall a little bit. Oh, I'm screwing up the lips. Need to move everything a little bit higher here. There you go. We can then also kind of add a little bit of a fat pad right here, which is we can really only do on this side. Like this, okay. So a little bit. There you go. Then the lips can maybe be a little bit, bring them in a little bit, like push them into this direction a little bit more, create some more depth for the lips. Yeah. That's after, before, after. I kind of screwed up here. But let's see. Can we kind of add some volume here? I don't think that's gonna work. Let's see, maybe a little bit. Let's see. So what you would do is you would kind of add some more right here. What tool are you using in Photoshop to move the face and nose? I use the Liquify tool. So if you, especially if you have if this is a layer right here, this layer, I like to make it a smart object. So you can convert it to a smart object, which is this one. A smart object layer has this small little icon right there. Wait, you can see the icon. Hold on. The icon looks like this right there. This small little icon right there. This is the non-smart object layer. This is a smart object. What that lets me do is when I then select the smart object layer and then I go to filters, there's the Liquify tool right here. If I click on it, you get this new window. And in this new window, you can move, for example, with the smudge tool. There are multiple different tools. I generally just use the first one right there to kind of move around different parts of the image. And then if I'm done, why I want to switch it to a smart object is because then I can still disable, or I can hide or unhide the filter. The filter will basically not be fully applied to the image. It will just be like a modifier, I guess you could say. So I can then hide it and unhide it to see the before and after for every filter, which is, pretty useful. Yeah. Let me just quickly fix. And you can also go back into the filters and do some adjustments like this here. There you go. Let's see if we can add a little bit of a fat pad right here. It'll be hard, but I'll try. There you go. You're welcome. My pleasure. Good man. There you go. Okay, that looks horrible. But maybe we can sort of see it. Welcome back, Zachary. Yeah, you know, OBS just decided to disconnect for some reason. Well, that won't stop me. Okay, I just made a new stream. There you go. I thought about doing these two, the last two, Monday, but I would rather finish them today. There you go, just by kind of moving. Moving or adding a little bit more volume here, we can see it kind of looks a little bit more natural. There you go. Okay. Unfortunately, I can't push the lips really like further in, but yeah, it would look kind of like this. Maybe what we could do is we could kind of darken this area a little bit right here. This looks probably too crazy, but you probably get what I mean. Yeah, that's maybe too strong, but just kind of, you know, kind of fill this space a little bit. If you want to, you know, if you want to, if you want, of course, you can always post either a blend file or an OBJ file of your sculpt. And then we can do some, you know, better adjustments on stream, you know, without having to do them in Photoshop. But of course, that's only, you know, I can still do them in Photoshop. It's just maybe a little bit more complicated. There you go. So yeah, we moved the lips closer to the nose. We also made the nose a little bit longer. We basically moved everything from the lower jaw higher up so that the distance between the nose and the lips is a little bit shorter, right there. Then we can maybe even move the forehead just slightly outwards like this. Okay. One thing, generally speaking, the eyebrows are relatively horizontal. So right now he kind of looks like this. It looks like he raised his eyebrows. If you would have a neutral pose, it would look something more like this. There you go. Okay. Before, after. Okay. And then one more thing that is that you can adjust pretty easily is the head shape. Generally speaking, sculpts are pretty round. They're basically just spheres at here at the back, you know, like right there. They're basically just spheres. So right here, this edge that you can see right here can be pretty round, or you know, you can smooth it so that it's nice and round right here. There you go. Before and after. Okay. Yep, those are some adjustments you can do. I'm gonna put that in the download link too. Oh, we can go do it before and after. Hold on. There you go. Before, after. Before, after. Before and after. Okay. Let's save that real quick, and then we can do the last one, which is an OBJ, so we can do some special adjustments in 3D. Okay. Let's go to number 4, which is from Passion, aka Manica or Manica. Let's go to Blender. Okay. Let's make a new file and then we can import the object. There it is. Okay. Hold on. What am I seeing here? Let me just quickly... So that's the sphere. What are these cubes? Wait, didn't I... Okay, hold on. I don't think these cubes are important, right? Do they do anything? I don't think so. Are there 2? Are they mirror? Where are there 2? Oh, for the... Hold on. Do we need this? I don't think so. Okay. Let's use this one. Delete the cubes? Okay. What about the other one? This one? This one? What about this one? I guess that's the previous version. I'm just gonna hide it too. You know what? There you go. No? What about no? What do you mean no? What are these ears? Unbelievable. Okay. Let's begin. Let me just quickly move that into one collection. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's go to the head. Do not have time to finish, no bully. Okay, I'll believe you this time, okay? If it happens again, then you're gonna see what happens, okay? Okay. Let's go over... Wait, why is it so dark? I guess that's just how it is. Maybe I'm just tripping. Okay. Okay, let's begin. So, first of all, let's go over general proportions just to kind of check if that's if they're correct. Talking about the head proportions, top of the head to bottom of the head, middle of that would be where the eyes are. Looking at this. We can even go into orthographic view if you want. I think they're in a good position. I'm just using my fingers right now. Yeah, I think they're in a pretty good position. What you could do maybe, I think, wait. Ah, there you go. I think one thing you could do is you could maybe lower the forehead just a little bit. Oh, wait, what happened there? Oh, of course. There you go. Ah, that's why. Because there were the duplicate. Moving it just slightly lower. Okay. There you go. Okay, just slightly. Okay. So the eyes are in a pretty good spot. I think one thing that is pretty apparent right now for me, or that kind of jumps into my eyes, are the eyes. One thing about eye shapes, looking from the side view, is they basically are just like a smaller than or bigger than shape or letter. The smaller one would be like this. Oh, hold on. Hold on. There you go. Smaller one would be like this. Why is it so big? be like this. The bigger one would be like this. That's basically the eye shape too. Right now you have this you have this curve right here. I think this curve can be removed basically. You can bring it forward like this. The eyes looking from the side are pretty small. Okay. So we can kind of smooth this out, make it nice and round here, a nice curve. And then bring it forward like this. Okay. Then, we said before, the eyelids have a certain thickness. Maybe this is a little bit too thick, so we can push it in. But here you can see it gets quite thin. We can move it out a little bit. There you go. Here, move it in a little bit. Do the same up top. I think up top it looks pretty good. Okay. There you go. One more thing we can do. As we said before, the eye itself, the iris is kind of, if you have a sphere as an eyeball, then the iris is like another bump on that ball, which means it pushes the eyelids further apart. So where the iris is where the two eyelids are the furthest apart. So if you would have if my cursor would be the iris, and it would sit right here, that is where the eyelids are the widest apart, where the curve arrives at its apex, let's say. So the curve would be the highest right here. Currently, it is maybe the highest right here, but then it sort of stays at the same height. What we can do is we can move it down right here to kind of bring it more into this nice C curve shape. More like this. Okay. We can then maybe move this up a little bit. We can do the same shape here, move it up here. Okay, we can maybe, oh wait, did I disable symmetry? Or was symmetry disabled? Oh no. Are you working without symmetry? No, I think you did. Maybe it was just disabled. If you see that you had symmetry disabled, but you want to re-enable it and you want to symmetrize everything, you can go in here into the symmetry option, and then you can say -x to x or x to -x. We want to copy what you have on the right side to the left side, which would be +x to -x. If we then say symmetrize, we copy it over to the other side. Okay. So the eye shape, apex of the curve up here, and a nice C curve right there. We can maybe even move the eyelids a little bit lower if we want to, right there. Okay. Then I think the eyebrows themselves, the bones of the eyebrows are quite high right now. If I would draw them in, I would say they're somewhere over here. I think we can lower them a little bit. Yeah. Generally speaking, the eyes are quite close to the eyebrow bone right here. Looking at, for example, this one right here. It's roughly over here, and then you have a little bit of fat right there. You can see that's basically the bone right here. Looking at this one, you can see how small the eye is right here. You can see how small it is. So if we look at that, if we keep that in mind and look at yours, you can see now it's a little bit smaller right here. Maybe we can make it even smaller if we want to. Oh. And then we move the bone lower. Maybe the bridge of the nose too. There you go, just a little bit more like this. Okay. We can then also, if we want to, I think that's maybe also a little bit subjective, but we're going to do it for this one. We can thin out the bridge of the nose. I think might be a little bit too wide right now. That might be because we symmetrized. It's not perfectly in the center of the axis maybe. We're just going to make it a little bit thinner right here. Perfect. We have quite a deep spot right here. Okay. We can then add a slight fat pad above the eye. Just kind of fill this void right there. The fat pad, of course, as we said, it kind of fills this area, generally speaking. We can then also talk about the this corner right here of the eyebrows. As we said before with the previous image, where we said we wanted to push them out a little bit, I think we can do the same here. We can just kind of move them out a little bit right here. So if we look at the 3/4 view, you can oftentimes see it in portraits, for example, that there is a slight curve right here. It goes from here, then inwards like this, like an S shape. Like an inwards curve like this, just very, very slightly, because there's like a small little bump right here that is kind of protruding from everything else, like this. Okay, there you go. So this also gives us this line right here for the fold of the eyelid right here. Okay, maybe a little bit too exaggerated, but you get what I mean. Okay. For the nostrils, what we said before, they're the widest at the bottom, and then they get thinner as they go higher. So we could either make them wider right there, or we can make them thinner right here. We're gonna make them thinner right here. There you go. So now they're more shaped like this. Nose tip, I think, could be maybe a little bit thinner too. This way we can kind of, there you go, adjust that. One thing that we said with Zero, I stuck me a lot in making the crease between the fat pad and the eyelid. What does stuck me? Yeah. The crease here between the nose and the rest of the face, like this area right here, is quite sharp, or is quite deep. So you can just kind of use the crease brush and go in here and dig in here. Struggle, okay. Yeah, the crease, what I like to do is I like to just add the fat pad right here. And then I like to use the crease brush, which is this one right there. And then I just go in here and maybe increase the strength even more so it's easier. And then I draw it in like this. Or if I start from scratch, I start with a skull, then I add I start with a eye hole skull like this. Then I add an eyeball shape, and then I add the fat pad on top. This way, the crease basically gets created automatically. I think you can see it in the time lapse that I posted on my video channel on Tuesday. You might be able to see that there, probably. There you go. Okay. So we have changed the nose a little bit, the tip. There you go. If we want to, we could adjust it here too. You know what we said before. Like a small tip right there, and then the bigger tip right here, which then creates this nice inwards curve right there, like this. Okay. The C right here, from the nose to the lips, looks pretty good. I like it. I don't think it's too steep or whatever. I think it looks nice and relaxed. I see you've been practicing your the planes of the face. I see some major improvements from the previous sculpt. Yeah, you can also see the fat pad right here and right here. I like it. Oh, and also the volumes right there. Same with the muscle right there. One thing you could probably adjust is the width, the eye width. Generally speaking, the nose width is where the corner of the eye begins, which looks pretty good right now, but you could maybe bring it in closer just a little bit. Bring it into the middle just slightly, a little bit more. There you go. We can then move the eyes closer together. Hold on. What I like to do, so I don't have two meshes, is I like to only have one. Then I like to apply a mirror modifier. And then I can only move one, and I move the other one with it. What I like to do then is I like to put the cursor into the center of one of the original sphere. And then I say mirror object, the sculpt. This way I can just move one and it's always mirrored like this. This way it doesn't follow this the movement of the right eye, the other eye, but it is always mirrored according to the face. There you go. One thing you can probably adjust is the neck or the distance right here, where it goes from the chin to the neck. Generally speaking, I say generally speaking too much. The distance here from the end of the lips to the bottom of the chin is the same distance as the tip of the chin to the beginning of the neck. So one thing you can do is you can just move this forward. Otherwise it kind of looks like this. Then you can maybe add a little bit more here as a nice transition to the neck. The shape of the neck is quite interesting. For the back of the neck, you basically have like an inwards curve that then goes out again. So it looks like this. For the front of the neck, I guess, it looks like this. So similar to this one, but then it actually goes in this direction. So that's the general shape of the neck. Of course, it's not that thin, but so it looks, so this part here looks like this. The front part looks like this. So it moves backwards a little bit. Can you see it with him? You can see it here too. See how it moves inwards and then outwards again? Right here. Let's go to the dark background right there. And with the inside here, it moves in and then it moves downwards and even further in this direction. There you go. Just gonna reinforce the jaw a little bit. Okay. One thing you can probably adjust, which is pretty minor, is the head shape. What I mean is, I think the widest part is a little bit too far back. You can see here, it looks very much like a trapezius right now, like this. I think you can increase the curve that you have here. You can probably, oh dude, I always press the wrong buttons. You can probably do it more like this. Right now it's quite flat like this. You can probably just move the widest part a little bit further forward. Right there. Maybe right behind the ears. And the ears are in the middle of the head, looking in profile view. Looking at Roberto again. You can see it right here. So if we have the width right here, in the middle is the ear. Or the ear is slightly behind it. The jaw connects to the upper part of the head in the middle of the head. So if the middle would be somewhere over here, the middle would probably be, I would say, here, which would mean that the jaw Place it a little bit further forward. Right there. And then we can move the ears slightly further forward. There you go. Also, one more thing. You can see right now that this shape, I like that you've included it. This shape, this is a muscle that connects to the lip, of course. The muscle, though, ends roughly over here. What is right here is a little bit of like a fat pad. So what you sometimes see is that it kind of droops down for older people, like this. But for younger people, it's quite, I guess, stiff. And you can see right here, it kind of looks like this muscle connects, or this muscle continues downwards. What actually happens is it kind of ends right here. And then there's just like a, you know, it's quite smooth. So it's more like this. There you go. Okay. Maybe I kind of feel like the nose bridge is quite long. Maybe that's just me. Of course, that's also, you know, sort of the unique features of a human. But I think overall the face is quite long. You could maybe bring everything a little bit closer together. So let's do that real quick. Let me just quickly select all this. Add some makeup here. Okay. Looks pretty cool. I'm going to smooth it. Then we're just going to move it everything up. Like this. I oftentimes myself make pretty long noses. And I try to purposefully make them a little bit shorter. I think that can help here too. There you go. Maybe it might be more subjective, but you know, you can decide for yourself. There you go. Also, in general, the distance from the lip to the nose for females is shorter than for males. So if you want to, you can move the lips a little bit higher too. But I think they're in a pretty good spot right there. Okay. There you go. Let's look at the before. Oh, hold on. There's one more thing that I just noticed, which is the lip shape. Lip shape. I've changed the front shape without changing the back. It looks alien. So it oftentimes helps if you look at the lips from the bottom or from the top. What lips should look like from the bottom is like a nice little C shape like this. Looking at yours right now, at least the bottom lips, comparing it to the front lips, you can see the front lips are quite nice and round. The bottom lips are kind of more like a cube. They are very wide, but not very like round. So we can probably just move the lips a little bit into the middle. Not too much, just like this. This should make it nice and round. There you go. And that, yeah. That's the last thing that I sort of noticed. And then... Nope. There you go. Or... Zip. No, hold on. We need to... So one tip if you want to make facial expressions, what you can do is you can switch the fall off from smooth to sharp, and that'll make the facial expressions a little bit more natural. So you grab the corner of the mouth and you move it up, and it looks, you know, better than before at least. So, yeah, well, that's too much. There you go. You can even do that inwards like this. See? Pretty natural. No, that's you know, you have to find a balance. You can see how it actually even creates this nice little sort of fold right there. Okay. Let's look at the before and after. We need a camera real quick. Hold on. Oh, wait. I move my camera to the front view just because then the camera, when you, I guess, add it, it will always look in the direction of where you are looking into, in which direction you're looking. So if you move it, you know, if you go into this viewport, I guess, view, the camera will perfectly look forward. Okay. There you go. I think you can still adjust the eyes a little bit, but I think we're gonna leave it there. Let's look at the before and after. So that's after. Let's look at the before. Oh, hold on. There you go. Hold on. Let's make it flat just so we can see the exact same look. Not smooth. There you go. That's before. That's after. Before, after. Before, after, before, after. Okay. So the shape of the eye changed a little bit from we moved the apex of the curve for the upper eyelid more into the middle, basically where the iris is. Same for the lower eyelid. Right there you can see before it was somewhere over there. Now it's more in the middle. We also brought the eyebrow bones lower, brought them down a little bit. We added the fat pad and also the eyelid fold right there. Eyelid crease, whatever. We overall squished the face together, which changed the distance between the nose, for example. Made the nose a little bit shorter right there. Made it a little bit thinner too. We also changed the nostril shape from thin to wide to thin to wide to thin, basically. So it's the widest at the bottom and then it gets thinner the higher it goes. Before it was thinner than somewhere in the middle of the nostril. We also brought the sort of widest part of the skull further forward, just a little bit. There you go. Before and after. Brought it forward. And we also moved the ears as well as the jaw a little bit further forward too. We moved it into the middle of the face or the head. There you go. Yeah, and then we did some small adjustments to the lips right here. Looking at it from bottom view, we rounded them a little bit right there, and we adjusted the shape here for the muscle. When you scroll back and forth, it looks like they're chewing food. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. And then we maybe adjusted the tip of the nose a little bit too. If you want to know how I switch between the two collections, I just press 1 and 2. If you press the numbers without anything else, you basically switch to different, the different collections. So if you make another one, this will be the third collection. If I press 3, we switch to that one. And it only ever shows one collection. I think if I press Shift 2, I switch to a different window. I don't know if there's a... No. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. If you press the numbers without anything else, you switch between collections. Okay. That will conclude the feedback session for today. Hope that was helpful. I hope you could gain from things on this. You could that was valuable to you. We had a question, or we wanted to analyze a sculpt that I've done a while back. I think what I'll do is we're probably gonna, we can maybe do that on Monday. Yeah, we can probably do that on Monday. I think that'll be a quick topic we can do on Monday, and then afterwards we can go back to the Reaper. Yeah, we're gonna do that on Monday. I know I put it in the title, but I need to remove that then. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that on Monday. Okay. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. I'm gonna upload these files to my Google Drive so you can download them and look at them yourself. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, chatting, or just being here. I hope you enjoy not only the rest of your day, but also the weekend, because tomorrow, of course, there's no stream. Maybe I'll see you next time. I plan on releasing a video next week explaining every single brush that exists in the sculpting tab right here. So all these brushes. I plan on releasing a video explaining all of them, what they do, and how you use them. Yeah. It's just a plan. I don't wanna set anything in stone, okay? So it's just you know, I plan on doing it. But yeah. That's a coming video at some point, at least. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. Hope you have a great weekend. Maybe I'll see you next time. Until then, take care.